The show you all want to know. And now, it's time for the Hill-arious Show with comedian
What up, everybody? It's your boy, comedian Malcolm Hill. This is the Hill-arious Show, man. Each and every Thursday at 7 o'clock, man, we bring some of the hottest comedians in the world, some of the funniest topics in the world. But first of all, before we start, I need everybody to share this video. Last week, somebody shared the video, and they won some money. So now, we need somebody to support this movement and share this video, right? We got a great show today. We got my man Rob Stapleton is going to be in the building, man. We got Rob Stapleton going to be in the building, right? See that? My man Rob Stapleton, one of the funniest guys in New York City, man. Great, good friend of mine. Plus, you know what I'm saying, we got a lot of other gifts to give out, a whole lot of that. But main thing, right now, we need everybody to share this video, right? And I want to say what's up to my co-host, N.A. N.A., what's up, man?
What's going on, M. Hill? How are you, good brother?
All right, I'm good. And my other co-host, Phillystreetpoet. What up, Phillystreetpoet?
What up, Malcolm Hill? What up with you, bro? What up, Nate?
What's going on, brother?
Yeah, I love watching him. This guy's a stone church guy. And when he's on here, he turns into a whole nother person. But love him to death, man. We got a great show today. First of all, need everybody to share the video, right? Share the video. Last week, we had over 14,000 people. We had over 14,000 people, right, on here. So we need to make the quota of 28,000. They said once we make 28,000, they're going to put us on to another platform. So we need to get this thing to 28,000. So how was your week, NA? Did you do anything special? Ain't too much going on, but we gotta say it anyway. You do anything special?
Yeah, I mean, well, it was a special day for me. August the 19th made 20 years, me being married to my beautiful wife, Kimberly. You know what I mean? So I had a few days off. You know what I mean? Just, blessed to see it with everything that's going on. God is great.
20, you say 20 years?
Wow. Yeah, 20 years married, 25 years together, man.
Damn.
Amen. That's dope.
Streetpoet, how was your weekend? Are you married?
Same with me, man. Definitely. Okay. My 12-year anniversary last Saturday, 12 years. So I'm just grateful, man, to step into the marriage realm because, in God's eye, God honors marriage, man. So I just try to definitely, continue to push the people to get married nowadays.
Why it feels like y'all talking about me, pushing the people? Y'all two up top is married and down the bottom is the devil. Is it the angels up there and the devils down here? But that's okay. Okay, 20 years, all that stuff. And I'm down here, 0 years, 0 marriage, 0 everything. But it's all good. I'm in the building. Huh? Yeah, he'll say, well, 22 years married, 25 years with her, and Streetpoet, 25 years. Yeah. Anyway, congratulations to the both of y'all. I'm happy for y'all. Right?
Appreciate that.
We got any claps? We got any claps?
Thank you.
We're gonna have a staff. We're gonna have a staff meeting with the engineer. Okay, the engineer. We have shout out to my engineer Ron G's, man. Ron G's. He plays stuff when he wants to play stuff. That's one thing. That's what I like about this show. Okay, this thing is unorthodox. It's not formatted. I don't know if the engineer gonna play music. I don't know if he gonna play the claps. He should have been. It should have been like 58 claps, right? But it's all good. We're gonna get the claps before this show is over. Okay, my man.
You gotta say it 10 minutes prior to the joke or whatever you're saying. Maybe we might get it on time.
Well, if somebody say they was married for 25 years, 25 years with them, 25 years around them, I need to hear some claps, okay?
Yes.
That's okay.
Nowadays, marriages don't last a year.
That's
They
true.
don't last a couple months nowadays.
Listen, marriages don't last. Marriages don't last, especially nowadays.
Now, guess what? You asked me in Street Poet about our weekend and everything. How about yours?
Yeah, what about you, man? Tell us about your weekend.
I ain't got no 25 years, nothing. I ain't got no 25 years married. My weekend was full of
keep it clean.
Oh, we got to keep it clean. Well, we not gonna go there. I just had a good weekend. I'm single. I'm single. I almost started saying a little too much. Okay, we trying to tone the show down. We're trying to keep the show clean, man. We we had some of the best. Seriously, on a real rap though, I'm proud of this show right now because we had some of the best comedians ever to do it. And it was so funny. I worked for every last one of them to ever do it. And the man coming up, my man Rob Stapleton, is definitely one of the funniest people in the world. And he's on the he made that. That's a movie right there called The Stuff.
Great movie.
Oh my God, great movie. We definitely, and I'm not just saying that because he's on here. The man got a movie that's about to it's the next hit of the summer, and I'm not going to just say that because he's on here because a lot of people give me send me a lot of these movies, a lot of clips, a lot of this, that, and the other, and I watch them and be like, man, you wasting stuff. This brother definitely has a hit on his hands. So I told him yesterday, I said, we gonna be rich. He said, what do you mean we? I said, man, you gonna have too much money with it. We gonna be rich. So, you know what I'm saying? But what I always do before we start, I tell about something about my life because I was once told that if you're doing stand-up comedy, people need to know who you are. You can't just get up there and just be telling jokes. They need to know who you are coming up. So they say once people start knowing who you are, they feel like they're a part of you. So I'm gonna tell a real story about when I almost got beat up in elementary school. As a matter of fact, it was junior high school. Almost got beat up. Like I'm gonna tell you, I used to, as a kid, I used to talk about people once I started getting a little bit of money. I used to start talking about people. So this guy named Darren, right? We in school. And I started busting on him. I started busting on Darren, right? So he didn't like what I said. So he and as a matter of fact, I remember what I said. I said, and it's corny now, but back then I said, you kind of soft. I didn't want to say gay. I said, you soft, but you supposed to be a gangster, but you soft. I said, you probably be on the corner wearing a pair of open-toed Timberlands. He was pissed, right? So now he talking about, well, after school at 3 o'clock, we gonna fight, right? So it's like 12 o'clock. 3 o'clock, when we go, that's when they let out school. I'm scared, right? So I'm thinking to myself, I'm looking up at the clock. But I used to watch Animal Planet. And on Animal Planet, I'm going to give you a little lesson. Every animal has a defense mechanism. And I saw that it was this bird that used to swell up. And when it swells up, it intimidates the other animals. So this nigga Darren, every class he would go to, I would go to the front of the class and act like I wanted to fight. Every class, I'm coming to him like I'm doing all this stuff. 3 o'clock, you know what I'm saying? I'm like swelling up like this, right? So I'm like trying to, hopefully that he didn't want to be out there. So 3 o'clock come, I'm looking out the window and it looked like they was having a block party out there. Everybody was out there. The whole school, the word must have went around that somebody finally gonna punch Malcolm in the mouth. So I go out there. So I'm looking to see who in the crowd. I'm looking to see, is any of my cousins out there? Is anybody out there I know? Well, only people was out there was the people that I was talking about through the whole school year. It was like everybody. And I'm like, wow, all these people out here. So now I'm standing there. I'm standing there with Darren. We nose to nose. But I knew that I didn't want to hit him. Somebody pushed me into him, right? Somebody pushed me. And I literally turned around and said, yo, don't be pushing me. And I realized the guy that when I said don't be pushing me was small. So when I said don't be pushing me, I grabbed the little guy and like, yo, you don't want none of this. I'm trying to fight the little guy. And Darren was like, no, you need to fight me. so anyway, we're not going to go into this story. We're not, because we're behind. Put me back on. Where y'all at?
We right here with you, brother.
Oh, okay. Listen, we got to bring my man on because he's in the back. He's in the back. Oh, he's in the back room?
Yeah, he's there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're gonna bring him on, man. Listen, this brother coming to the show definitely is one of the kings in New York. He has one of the hottest rooms in New York, on Tuesday nights, right? He has the best room in New York on Tuesday nights. He got this movie that's about to have him, over the top. Definitely over the top, man. I definitely need y'all to support this movie, man. And with all that said and do, make some noise for my man Rob Stapleton. Make some noise for Rob Stapleton. If is our engineer on there? What up, Rob? What up, homie?
Yo, what's going on? Saturday, man. What's happening? Yo, I can't hear y'all that good. I don't know if y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. It's a little.
What's up, man?
Yeah,
it's a little staticky.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, I can't hear y'all. Y'all sound like y'all on Mars or something.
Dang.
Give us 1 second.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if y'all need me to go out and come back in, but I can't.
Can you hear now?
Can you hear us now? No, will it log out? Log out.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah. Log out and come back on if you can't hear us.
All right.
Yeah.
I think you said log out. I'll log out and come back in.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. Log out and come back on. But yeah, definitely. Oh, he got to hit leave. He got to hit the word leave. I don't know if he can hear it. Hit the word leave. Hit the word leave and log out and come back on. But like I said, man, I met Rob about 10 years ago, and he's definitely, his stand-up is definitely on another level. Like a lot of people tell jokes, but this dude, he's very animated in his jokes. Like everything he do is like, and when I watch him, and I say, man,
he's hilarious.
Yeah, definitely funny. Definitely funny. And I don't even want to talk about the movie yet till he can actually hear us because it's amazing. I ain't gonna lie.
I told you. Did I tell you? I said, Nate, you need to see this movie.
No.
And people are like, nah. I'm like, homie, you need to see this movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when he sent it to me, it's like, I watched it and I was like, yo, I did not expect it to be that good because I watched a whole lot of people's joints and a whole lot of people movies that they make, ain't on no level. And when he made this, I'm like, yo, you got the product. So he definitely gonna do it. I know he's gonna do a part 2.
I don't even think it was better me not thinking that it was gonna be a good movie.
Can you hear?
Can you hear us?
Yeah,
now?
what up?
Yeah.
What up?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's perfect.
That's better. Can y'all hear me, man?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right. I think we could rock like this. I think we could rock out. It was good.
What up?
I
We can't see you. All right,
There you go. All right, Malcolm. He said, "What he missed? Bring back what you were saying about the movie, basically."
Hold up. He blanked out. I don't know. Hopefully he logged back on. But anyway, they doing this tour called the New York Kings of Comedy, which is Rob Stapleton, Capone, Talent, you know what I'm saying? And it sells out like all over. It sells out all over. Like the Kings of Comedy was great, but the New York Kings of Comedy is just as good. And I think we need a Philly Kings of Comedy. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. There you go. I can see him.
There you go.
Yeah. Can you hear us, Rob? You might have go to
He probably got mute. He might have his thing muted on the side.
On the mic.
Oh yeah. I see. Let me see. Let me unmute it.
Unmute it.
Yeah.
Can you unmute it?
Oh, okay. You can't.
No, he got to unmute.
You got to press unmute on your camera.
Right. I see like a line going across his mic.
Well, you got to press unmute.
You got to press on mute.
Nah, we still can't hear him. Dang, he was on earlier.
Hold on, Street Poet.
No, he might have to he might gotta.
Oh, there you go.
See
Yeah.
him?
Rob. I wonder what did he do differently that went from earlier today. I wonder what he did different. Nah, he might have to. If he can hear us, if you can hear us.
Y'all hear me?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you. Look.
All right. If y'all can hear me, we could go ahead. It's just
Yeah,
y'all sound a little staticky, but I can make it through that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do I sound? Do I sound clear?
Not that good, not that
really,
bad.
Right?
Nah, not
I
really.
never had this problem before.
See if you can turn your phone sideways. It's better.
Yeah, I had it sideways earlier, and I thought maybe that put it the other way and make it better.
Oh no, we can hear you, but it's just like, hey, we got to do what it do, man. Look,
I could have
what's
put
up?
my headphones in, but I saw everybody else didn't have their
Nah.
headphones.
Put your headphones in. Put your headphones in. It should be
Headphones?
good. Yeah, he can use his headphones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he can use
It
his
sounds
headphones.
like somebody frying chicken.
Yeah, put your headphones on.
I know his phone is static. His phone is static.
This iPhone 10 ain't shit, huh?
Yeah. Here, this nigga just did the Breakfast Club like 4 times, and he come on the Hill-arious Show, and we can't get the sound. Engineer's gonna be fired, but don't worry about it. We got
That engineer.
Mistakes in the back.
You popped up.
Yo, you want me to look? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to leave and come in one more time to see if that works. All right.
We can actually hear you now.
You sound good. Listen.
You sound good.
Okay. All right. So then I'm gonna leave it like this. If y'all say it is. So let's take it from the top. All right.
Look, first of all, I need you to first of all tell the people, how did you get started in stand-up comedy? Before we get into the movies, let us know, how did you get started in stand-up comedy? Like, how did you?
That story is so. I started in New York. You know what I mean? Started
Right.
in New York doing the little mainstream clubs. Then I was doing mainstream clubs. I was doing all the white clubs. Then I caught up with Hamburger. If y'all remember the legendary Hamburger.
I know Hamburger. Right. That's
and
Hamburger.
Derek Fox. Derek Fox is the one that Martin Lawrence got Shanae from.
Right.
All right. Y'all want to really know the real history. Wow. Derek Fox was Shanae before Shanae. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
So I know y'all had
exclusive
Capone and Talent on there. They could probably tell you that. You know, Derek Fox was that dude back then from Jersey. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So we bumped into each other, and they told me about what was going on in the black world in New York, which was the Uptown Comedy Club. So they brought me in there, and that shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. You know what that shit was? That was like when I used to hang in Philly. Y'all had a club. I don't know if you know y'all motherfuckers know about this. Y'all had a club in Germantown called Morgan's.
Morgan's.
There was a shit called Morgan's in Germantown. Whatever this Javon Pearson was the dude.
Javon Pearson.
If you were fucking with any shows in Philly, you had to fuck with Javon, right?
That's right.
And,
that's right.
He actually was the host. They used to do comedy in that spot on Friday. Yeah. But the shit was, you had, even if you was on the show, it was a hard time getting in.
Wow.
In Morgan's. You had to do the secret knock on the door.
Morgan's had the door closed.
The password and shit. Yeah. They slide the door open like Uptown Saturday night and some shit. Then you go upstairs. You go upstairs.
Yep.
While you doing the jokes, there's all type of shit going on underground. Like, you know what I mean? That's how the Uptown was.
They had that black door where they look through the thing and they see you, and then they let you in after you knock.
I think it was by law you had to have a nigga with a bad eye at the door.
Nigga would look through the door and let you in.
So
and
you
then
thought
go
that
upstairs.
was just a peephole, but this nigga opened the door. This eye really fucked up. You know, he like,
seriously. Every time they would let somebody in, they would close that door. And I don't understand why they was doing that, but
but you know the crazy part about it, before I get back to the Uptown shit, was after you did that show, you finally, because they make you wait around and get paid. So while you waiting around, because back then, man, you know, it wasn't a business. So you wait to get paid, and you end up being downstairs partying with all the old motherfuckers that are in there.
Yep, downstairs was the old party. Yep, old folks was downstairs
So
partying.
I'm only saying all of that to correlate it that when I was doing the mainstream rooms, and then you come to the black clubs, that's how it was. It was just like a whole different world. You know what I'm saying? It was there was no sign up that said Uptown Comedy Club. You know, when you went to the white clubs, it was like Caroline's, Strip. You know, when you drove by, okay, we're gonna park here and walk over there.
Right.
Uptown, it was just like you ask somebody, yo, where the Uptown? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? So when they brought me to that, it was like a whole. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was all the black comics, and shit was like, it was like the Fight Club of comedy. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
So you started doing that show, but
started doing that shit. Yeah.
So no, what I'm saying is, like, what made you think to do stand-up comedy on that type of level, like to even go in there to even do that? Like,
it was just, you know, watching shit on cable. Back then, it was only like one HBO, so you watch HBO and you would look at this shit. And then when Eddie came out, and Eddie was the hot motherfucker, it was like I guess like how Usher and Chris Brown and them all from the same tree that Michael Jackson's from. You know what I'm saying? New Edition, they all come from that tree. They different leaves from that tree. And different branches, I should say. And when Eddie came out, it was the first time. You got to realize, Eddie came out was actually Def Jam before Def Jam. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's the first time we saw a young black dude that looked like us, talk like how we talk, and everybody laughed. You know, he had charisma, he had confidence, and he talked the way that we talked when we were at the barbershop and shit. You know what I'm saying? So back then, most people didn't know that now you can make a career from doing that shit. Because it's like we knew Richard Pryor, but Richard Pryor was like your father's friend. You know what I'm saying? Eddie was like, yo, this next dude that you be like, yo, this dude isn't too much older than me. Type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was it. And then from there, I started checking out the clubs, Malcolm. You know what I'm saying? They used to get the Sunday paper, and the Sunday paper would tell you it wasn't like a list of black clubs because niggas, you know, black clubs was really doing it. So you find out what white club to go to, and then you try it. And then but the thing is, when you did those clubs, you weren't really who you were. You were trying to be somebody else. And that's what drove Richard Pryor crazy. Richard Pryor was trying to be Bill Cosby at that time. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what America wanted. They wanted a black man that would smile and they weren't afraid of. And that was the cookie cutter of what you had to be. You know what I'm saying? So with all of that, you know, Eddie was definitely the fuse that got me interested into wanting to do it. But there weren't really that many outlets to do it. Because even when Eddie was doing it, he had to go to the white clubs and do it, and he talked the way that he talked, and it's amazing how fast he was able to blow up when he was defying the odds. You know what I mean, of doing what you're not supposed to be doing in those clubs. You know what I'm saying?
When I seen Shucky Ducky, right? When I first seen Shucky Ducky quack quack, I said, oh hell no, I need to be doing this shit here.
But the truth about that shit, Comic View, motherfuckers like laughed at Comic View. Comic View gave a lot of motherfuckers that chance, man. Comic View was, you know what? I found out, y'all, Comic View wasn't owned by Comic View. Comic View came from the idea of, okay, let's say y'all three want to throw a party, and y'all go to the local radio station and you start doing ads, people will know about your party, right? That's what some dude did with BET. He used his own money to film all of the comedy, but aired it on BET. Everybody thought it was just BET's thing, but it wasn't really BET's thing, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So he invested in himself and created the brand of Comic View. But with that said, it gave all of us a chance. Like people like we laugh at Shucky Ducky and niggas like Jamario, but they were fucking. They knew about the internet before the internet because they knew how to brand themselves.
Jamario.
About you being the funniest motherfucker. It was about the motherfuckers knowing your name. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, everybody knew Shucky Ducky, and everybody knew Jamario.
What's Jamario? And even motherfucker like Shorty from Atlanta. What my name is? What my name is?
I gotta come up with a gimmick because
you gotta come up with gimmick, something, man. Melly Mel, something. Michael Mark, something.
Gimme.
So Rob, when was your big break that you felt like you actually made it, or this is the one for me? When was that? Did it change
Like
for you?
I checked out when Talent was on here. Talent says some shit that is so fucking true. Like back then, okay, so we had Comic View, which came on 5 days a week, and then he started even doing Saturday, right? So if you were in that cycle, you got a lot of work in the South. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Def Jam came. Def Jam was a backlog of that shit, which they started tours. And then later on came the Bad Boys of Comedy, but there was still Showtime at the Apollo, Apollo Comedy Hour, and then it was a show called the Uptown Comedy Club. And the Uptown Comedy Club was the club that I told you I started at, but they ended up getting a TV show. So, but the thing is, once you were on one of those shows and you had a dope set, you got a lot of work, man. You got a lot of work. So I would say, like, from Comic View, I got a lot of colleges. You got a lot of work. And, you know, it's funny because I do the colleges now, and them motherfuckers be like, you funny, mister. You know what I mean? But when I did the shows back then, you were pretty much hanging out with them after the show. You know what I'm saying? Like,
now you that.
You find 2 days later, you still on campus. You know what I'm saying? With that check still in your pocket and shit.
Now you R. Kelly up in there. Now you can't.
You there now. You got to go to small claims court now, shit. You know what I'm saying? But Bad Boys of Comedy did really good for me. When I did Bad Boys of Comedy, that was crazy. That helped me get my half-hour comedy special. And then Def Jam really, when I did Def Jam, my set was just okay on my original Def Jam. It was like that in-between phase when they started bringing a whole bunch of different hosts in. Like Martin wasn't there no more. And they started bringing all of them other people in. And it was still Def Jam, but it wasn't Def Jam.
It was the same.
Right.
That set you did on with Mike Epps. No, that Mike Epps joke.
Yeah, live at the Nokia. Yeah. My best set ever on TV recorded was the Bad Boys of Comedy set. That joint was I had did $8 joke before.
That joke,
but doing it on there was just, it was a home game, I call it. It was the perfect storm. It was the energy. It was in Brooklyn, and I was able to do my old shit and my new shit, and it seemed like everything was just new. That was when I was doing a joke about the nigga on the wheelchair on the bus. And that was just crazy. I did $8, and it looked like I just made it up right there.
Are you serious?
I ran in the crowd, sat on the nigga's lap. You know what I mean? It was just.
Wait a minute. You made $8. You made $8 at that show.
Nah. $8 was before that, but I did it again. But to a lot of other people that didn't watch Comic View. Anyway, $8 is one of them jokes that niggas just want to see anyway. Even if they saw it before, they just want.
That's the funniest thing in the world because that's real shit. You talk about how niggas go to the club and don't realize they ain't got no money until they get.
And that's where this shit came from. That shit came.
That's
from
real shit, nigga.
From knowing a nigga like that.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
That's
we
why I
all know
laugh
the nigga
every
that
time
get
I
in
see
your
it.
car. He tell you what CD to play and all that shit. He smelling good. You think he got money. You get to the club. This nigga act like they ain't never charged in Philly before. You know what I'm saying?
When I watch you say some stuff that's like basic. Like I could have thought of that. It's like, and you make shit funny. Like when you talk about how the niggas get caught stealing in the supermarket.
You gotta take a picture with the shit you stole. You know where that come from? You know where that come from, Marco? When I was little, right? Me and my father, we get our food stamps. My father would take us to, we go shopping. I grew up with my pops, not my moms and shit.
Okay.
We get the food stamps and we be in there shopping. And then I would see the pictures up of niggas. And I'd be like, what the fuck is this? I thought they were like local great shoppers and shit. Like, you know what I mean? I thought these were the best shoppers in the neighborhood.
No.
And then I found out those are the niggas that were horrible at stealing. You know what I'm saying?
When you get caught stealing, they take the picture. He said niggas be holding hams. And
they take a picture with the shit you stole. You see niggas, and by each picture, you can see what these niggas needed in their house. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, you say some crazy stuff. But look, before we get into your movie, your top 5 comedians. Everybody, I gotta ask the question to everybody because I need to know. I want to know this type of stuff. Well, I got you.
Dave Chappelle 5, Dave Chappelle 4, Dave Chappelle 3. Dave
Come on,
Chappelle
man.
2.
Come on, man.
Dave
With the political.
Chappelle 1.
Come on with the political, man. I need ratings. I need ratings.
My 5 would probably be people you probably don't even know, man. Like Brian Regan. I love Brian Regan. You might not know Brian Regan, but one of the first shows that Dave did was with Brian Regan. You know what I'm saying? Brian Regan's this white boy from Boston, man. Very observational.
Yeah,
you know, he could tell you a joke about getting a dozen donuts and make you laugh for 20 minutes about being online, getting a dozen donuts. Doesn't curse. You can watch his whole set and not even realize that he didn't curse. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I'm
gonna have to look him up.
His physical, I'm a physical comic.
You're a physical
you know
comedian,
I mean?
yeah.
I'm a physical comedian. So
Right.
and I was just taken by that. You know what I mean? Like to see how physical and just how fucking funny he was, man. Like just funny. Like he didn't care. Like he doesn't care. He's just gonna give you your money worth. And that's how I do, man. With shows I fuck with you, Malcolm, man. There be shows that we did. You know, when you do a lot of black clubs, it'd be clubs that ain't comedy clubs. It'd be a night. You know what I'm saying? It'd be a night that they do a comedy.
Absolutely.
The food gonna be off the chain. You know, it's gonna be turkey wings, mac and cheese, all that shit. But I always feel, man, when the motherfuckers come, sometimes you get the motherfuckers that get there early, right?
Right.
Show's supposed to start at 8. Motherfuckers get there at 6:37. Some no early people. Show's supposed to start at 8, but it don't start to 9:30, 10. So those people that got there early are now punished because they've been there 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
The promoter can't start the show because the other niggas he need to come aren't there yet to fill the rest of the seats, and he got to get the rest of his money. So it's almost 10:30 that you starting the show. Now I'm headlining. I got 4 acts going on before me.
Yep.
You got the 2 features that you got, and plus the 3 local dudes that sold 5 tickets apiece that want to go on.
You know
I'm going on. Now it's 1:45.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Some of the people that left. Some of the people start leaving.
So people don't realize when you headline in these black shows, they'll take your go, yo, he ain't as funny as I thought he was or something. They don't factor all of
everything
that in.
Everything got to fall in place.
That they done ran out, got out of their seat, walked to their car to fuck with the Ciroc that they got in the car for a little bit, smoked a little something. Now their attention is like, so I use my energy in whatever to keep everybody engaged in what I'm doing. Because I feel like that one time you saw me may be your first time, and I want you to believe that I'm, you know, as funny as anybody else that you may have saw.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely a physical comedian, and that's truthfully that's what I like the best. I like physical comedians.
Like JB Smooth.
JB Smooth was the first.
Tony Roberts. Roberts.
Yep, Tony Roberts.
Will Simmons. You know what I'm saying?
You know, a lot of that's the only type of comedians I like is physical comedians. Where
Cat Williams is a physical comic. Mike Epps is physical comics.
Malcolm always hates on Cat.
I don't know.
Who went what?
Malcolm hates on Cat. I don't know why.
Cat Williams.
You don't like Cat?
Yeah. Malcolm, I don't know why.
Well, you know, whether you like him or not, he's a physical comic. You know what I mean? That's pretty much the topic of what we're talking about. You know what I mean?
You know, I mean, he's great at what he do. You know what I mean? It ain't that I hate him. He's great at what he do. But for me, I think he's using his voice, his look, and everything to, and if you listen to what he's actually saying, I mean, he's nice, but I like Rob Stapleton.
He's not your cup of tea.
I like Rob.
Him and Dave definitely in my top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but anyway,
with Dave, right? Dave Dave is like, yo, and let's take a hip hop comparison. LL Cool J made it through decades and was relevant for a while until he got heavy into his acting. He was smart. You saw that NCSI, whatever that shit is. You knew that was his check. You know what I'm saying? That shit going on 13 seasons now. That's he will live residually money forever. You know what I'm saying? His grandkids are taken care of. You know what I'm saying? But you take somebody like Jay-Z, you know, the young motherfuckers don't give a fuck about him no more, but his catalog is off the chain. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And when you look at Cat with what he's done, you know, I mean with Chappelle, with what he's done, to have that iconic show like that leave and then come back and still be breaking bread the way that you do. And when something socially happens, I don't know about y'all, but I want to know what Dave got to say about this shit. You know what I'm saying?
I don't care what talent say. Them joints was all good to me. He said last week talent was on. He said he didn't like but one of them. And
one of Dave's specials for real?
Yeah, the last 3 that he did. The last ones he did. And I'm like, okay, if you say so.
I mean, to each his own, but them
Right,
shits. See,
right.
this is what I'm saying.
Them,
Jordan won 6 championships, right?
right.
Mhm.
Keep it real. By the 4th and 5th, by the 5th and the 6th one, niggas was the first one. Fans, Chicago niggas, yeah. The second one, yeah. The third and fourth. By the 5th and 6th, it was expected. You know what I'm saying? Because you've seen that shit before.
Absolutely.
You've seen that team dominate before, and that's us as a people. When we seen the best that you can do, you're going up against yourself at that point.
Wow.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We got to look at it like that. And I'm not trying to say because talent could think whatever way that he think,
right?
But Dave's lowest is a lot of people's best.
Please,
you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, you can't say somebody's next hour isn't dope if you haven't done multiple hour specials.
Absolutely.
People don't realize. You know what I'm saying? Like you go to Soul Food Restaurant, motherfuckers got good ass collard greens, and the other ones ain't as good. You know what good collard greens are. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way with these hour specials. We throw it out. I got a special. Them shits is hard, man.
I know.
Hour special. Netflix ain't no fucking commercials. It ain't. They don't cut to no hemorrhoid commercial.
No.
And then come back. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Them
Just
shits
like
is the hour straight.
Just like Kev joints. If he have one that ain't, all the way up here, people like, oh, he's corny now. No, he just had a bad set. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
People are always expecting the next one to be all right. That shook up culture for a while. When he did that, he shook up the internet. When you do that, like I always say like this: when I do my next special, I wanted to shake the culture. My film that I did, I wanted my film to shake the culture. Like when I do my shit, I want my shit like $8. I want people walking from my special and saying my shit. I want motherfuckers when they see a motherfucker in a wheelchair on the bus go, this nigga. Like, I want that to be Rob Stapleton-ism. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, look, let's get into it. You just mentioned it, man. I watched your movie, and real rap. You definitely got the hottest movie out today, and that's I'm not just saying that. Like I said, I'm not just saying that because you're on here. I'm saying that because I watched it, and a lot of movies I don't watch through the whole thing. I sat there and watched it, and because you want to see what's actually going to happen. How you wrote that, it makes you want to see how is this thing going to end. And I'm sat there.
Yo, that's funny that you said that, Mark, because like I don't like to put words in people's mouths. What motherfuckers feel is organically what you feel. Right? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if any of y'all in a relationship, but when you met the lady who you are going to be with for a while, it was a first impression that you got. And first impressions you can't redo again. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's a certain about when you watch Friday, something about this movie that clicked with you. You know what I mean? And then you watch it again and the third time and whatever. And something else you said, Malcolm, about it's hard, the way internet and times are now, it's hard to watch something for a long time. I wanted to put a piece out there where it kept you 20 minutes into it and you got something to do, but you like, I need to watch a little bit more. Now you another 15, now you 45 minutes into it and you be like, yo, I got to see what happened to Mike and Trey now. I got to watch what happened with these niggas. And I didn't want my movie to be predictable. I didn't want it to be something where you saw and you just know what's going to go on. You know what I'm saying? I wanted it to be, I'm not going to lie to you, man. I wanted to make a cult film. I wanted to make a hood classic. I wanted to make, because I watched some shits, man. I watched what they doing in Detroit with these movies, with these plug ones and plug, these movies, and they shooting the gun sideways, and everybody's cool. Everybody glorifying, everybody selling keys, everybody got a brick. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't want to glorify none of that shit. I wanted to make a real live situation without giving away too much of the movie. I wanted to have a fish out of water experience where some dudes are average dudes that have a financial thing going on and they got caught up and they are way over their head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the same formula like Uptown Saturday Night. You know what I'm saying? The dude's wallet was taken. Motherfucker just wanted his wallet back. City Partier just wanted his fucking wallet back.
Right.
He had to go through what he had to do. And Mike and Trey, believe me, years from now, we're going to be looking back at this interview and say this was the beginning of the journey of Mike and Trey.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? This is Mike and Trey part one of what we're doing now to what's going to be happening later on, like what they did with what's Mike Epps' name? Day, like Day and Craig. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. Rob.
What's up?
Malcolm texted me, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Watch this movie."
Mm-hmm.
And Malcolm can be the biggest hater sometimes. So
yes.
He told me, watch the movie and how good it was. I immediately watched the movie.
It was amazing.
Me and my wife anniversary was yesterday. We watched that movie 2 times.
Wow. Yo, first of all, congrats. You and your lady's anniversry, man?
Yes, sir. 20 years.
Well, me and my wife's anniversary next Tuesday, so I could definitely feel you. Yeah, definitely.
20 years. And let me tell you, that thing is beautiful. Everything about it. And then I found out you wrote it well. Yo, look, you got great talent, bro. Keep up the work. That thing is going big places. And I've seen a lot of people that I'm cool with. I seen Corey Fernandez. I seen you know what I mean? I seen the boxer from Philly. You did it big, man. You had some
Philly representative, right?
You did. You did. My boy
I should get a Philly tax break for them work.
My boy Murder Monk, you know what I mean? Great, man. I really appreciated that. And I'm going to watch it again. We've been sharing the link. You know what I mean? Good to see you doing that. I feel like that's going to hit the big screen soon.
Nah, I appreciate that. Even if it doesn't hit the big screen, the way that it is now, the way that it's shaped, man, besides before the pandemic, you could really count on your hand how many times you actually go to the movies now. Before, years ago, you couldn't count them. I don't know, 40 times. I don't know. Like now, you go. I only went to the movies 4 times that year. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's far in between when motherfuckers put out product good enough for you to take you and your lady and do dinner and do that. They make it so comfortable for you to be home with these 70-inch screens, and you could cast it from your phone to TV and stop it and smoke if you want, go get something. You know what I mean? So with that said, I'm happy with the streaming shit. Years ago, I would have felt like a failure if my movie didn't make it on the big screen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the streaming actually is better move anyway right now, because it's pretty much you. You don't have that middle person that you got to give all this stuff to, and all of the creativity and the things that you're doing is a great situation for yourself. You know what I mean? But great.
I appreciate it. I'm happy that you enjoyed it and you saw it and that you got it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's my first movie, man. So, you know, it definitely things that I'll learn to do even better later. But I'm wanting my first one to be off. Every director and every producer says that with everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
On a TV show, you want your second season to be better than that fucking first season. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I wanted this shit to be popping from the top. But I tell you one thing that I learned. What happened to Malcolm? Y'all killed him, y'all?
Seemed like
y'all killed me. Y'all killed me.
Okay.
We can hear you.
Y'all can hear me. Well, it's all good. Number 1's he can do. Number 2.
Try to block the camera.
Fucking had some bad ishkabickles. What's that? Ishkabickles?
What you know about ishkabickles, man?
Oh, man. I'm straight up South Street, man. I fuck with Philly heavy, man.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So, but like, take for example, like, I didn't put all my friends in a fucking film. I put the people who were right for their parts, like Charlie Baltimore in her scene, and she really auditioned for that shit, yo. I didn't put her in the movie so I could say I had Charlie Baltimore, because that's not going to help me get extra financing just saying that I got Charlie Baltimore. Once she's in it and she knocks it out, people will look at it and go, oh shit, isn't it Charlie Baltimore? But she came on set, auditioned, did her shit, what she needed to do to get that role. You know what I'm saying?
Corey Fernandez did good.
Yeah.
And Michael Blackston did good.
Danny Garcia.
Yeah, Danny, his first, you know, he got the biggest fight coming up of the year in November. That was his first shit. I sent a little acting coach to him. Before he moved to Florida, he was still in Pennsylvania. Sent the acting coach to him to get his shit together. Right. And you know, he took it serious. Motherfucker took it serious. You know, Murder Mook, motherfuckers, you know, battle rapper, motherfucker was killing it. Everybody was killing their role. And it's funny, my partner who plays Mike, Al Thompson, you know, that's a bad dude, man. Because, you know, in that chemistry, it was really important for my chemistry with who my co-partner is in the film for that to be very believable. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
it definitely was a very interesting movie. You know what I mean? I appreciate it because I ain't gonna lie, you was acting like a lot of times when you know you have everybody doing things and they acting, they really can't act, but they want to do it, and you actually were acting. And I said, oh, everybody in there was good. It wasn't nobody in there that I could say didn't belong there.
Yep.
And I'm looking at it. I was looking when I seen the names. I ain't gonna lie. I said, "Oh man, for moving this one acting." Let me see.
Listen.
Yeah.
But it was a great cast, great setup. The end was totally different from what I thought it was going to be. You know what I mean? And it was decent, man. It was real good.
Definitely will really put it over the top. I can't give it away, but the bad guys in your movie was definitely bad guys in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, they definitely played their part.
I wanted those dudes, those actors that I had, man, Nicholas Tucci and Dana Watkins. Them dudes are gonna make some noise in the future. Well, I'll say Dana Watkins. Well, you know, my man who played the other cop, Nicholas Tucci, man, we lost him. He passed away before 2 months ago, man. He was sick.
Oh, man.
Yeah, right after we shot the film, man. And that dude was a beast, man. That dude was a beast. Nicholas Tucci, one of the cops, you know. So if you notice at the end of the film, we says dedicated to the Tucci family. You know, like, y'all just remind me, man, I got to reach out to his pops tomorrow. He was a dope actor. And I'm telling you this, man. Let me just tell your listeners that are listening, and to tell y'all, and Malcolm, you know, you promoting comedy shows and shit. Later on, when you start doing movies and shit, when you go the independent route, your organization has to be beyond a 10. If you're going from 1 to 10, your prep has to be a 13, 14, because what can happen will happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you got to shoot outside and they say it ain't going to rain, it's going to rain. What's your plan B? Do you have an interior to take that into? When we had times where the cops came on the scene, pulled the car over, seen the fake kilos of cocaine in the trunk, thought it was real cocaine in the guns, and took the prop car, and it came on the set to think that to check to see if we were really filming, if we had our permits. Right. Your shit got to be real. You got to have insurance on set in case something happens. You can't just throw this shit together. And it was a lot of prep. I shot that whole film in 13 days, man. 13 fucking days with a shoestring fucking budget. It was times where I ran out of money, man. Like the scene that you see with when the bag comes out the window. I didn't know how we were going to shoot any scenes after that, because one of the investors that I had a little problem with his share of the money. Okay. And this is what happens when you shoot an independent film. Nobody gives a fuck. Right. Malcolm, you got an argument with your lady before that 9 o'clock show. Nobody gives a fuck.
And nobody cares.
When you go on at 9:55, you better be funny in that 15-minute shit. They don't give a fuck that you had flat on your way there. You couldn't find parking on South 3rd or whatever the fuck street. It's what you do on that stage is the same thing with what I did on that screen. Nobody cares. You know, it's a low budget film. I didn't have millions of dollars, but it lets the industry know, if you give this motherfucker some money.
Oh, if you get money,
this dude's gonna be able to do that. And I'm not fucking around with this shit no more, man. It's like, you know, the Hollywood doesn't know what they want, but when they see what they like, they want 5 of the same shits. If that makes sense to you, you know what I'm saying? And we can't be waiting for these niggas to call us, man. Like, Kev do a lot for his team, for his people. And Kev, I'm not gonna lie, Kev do, but he can't do everything for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Right.
You know, Mike Epps is worried about still being hot next year. You know what I'm saying? Like they still got to worry about their own shit. So you got to do it. Like my girl Isha Rae from Insecure. That show is one of the hottest shows on HBO, but it comes from her doing what she did on the internet. You know what I'm saying? With her making it hot on the internet. HBO saw that, said we wanted to bring this to our brand, and that show is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And she did the hard work herself. And I'm in the midst of doing that shit right now. But I tell you, gentlemen, the hardest part in this shit is motherfuckers still don't believe in me. Like,
you told me that. You told me that.
I told me that. The film, and I told you this shit, Mark. And it hurts my heart, man. It hurts my fucking heart that you know, y'all spoke on the movie, and I didn't tell y'all to say what y'all said.
Mm-mm.
And
No,
I believe y'all.
No.
If y'all didn't like the film, y'all would go, it was cool. And
I said it was all right.
y'all wouldn't trash me, but y'all would kind of move on and ask about,
absolutely.
yo, so that show that you had with Charlie Mack, man, what happened with the? We would move the conversation on. But what I'm saying is, we wait till the machine says that something's hot before we support something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. But
I will never change, but the people around me will. And once this movie gets to the next thing, everyone's gonna be like, yo, nigga, I ain't know this shit was like that. I didn't know. And that's the part where I sit with my wife now and I just go tick, 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 because it's gonna be boom when the shit gets, you know.
We talked that night. You're right. After I watched the movie, we talked that night, and you was like, you know, people that you immediately ain't supporting it yet because they don't know.
They don't know.
That's how we is. We don't do nothing until once people start seeing it, then everybody gonna start talking, and then they gonna be like, oh, I need to go see this.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact when you send the link out to people, they ain't gonna watch it right away.
They ain't gonna watch it right away.
They're not gonna watch it right away.
Right.
Once like I was telling you that night, we talked for like an hour that night, and I said, yo, once the word get out that this is the real deal, like I'm be real with you. When I seen that movie, right, my man, I sent it to my homie that we supposed to do movies, another comedian friend, Joe the Boss, and he said, because we trying to shoot one. He said, well, what do you think about it? I said, what I think about it is we got to up the ante. I said, because what he just did, it ain't just throwing no shit out there just to have a movie out there. That shit is on a level with that had a big budget. Like that shit was on a level. The writing, the plot, the scenes, the scenery, everything was like and for you to say you shot it in 13 days, that don't make no sense.
The movie been through a lot, man.
That don't make no sense.
Let me tell you a story on the movie. I had did the movie first. When I first had did the script, Mike Epps wanted to do the film. And Mike Epps, I saw Mike in the city and I gave him, I was walking in Times Square. He saw me pull the car. Was like, oh shit, we ain't seen each other in a few years.
Right.
So we spoke. I said, yo, Mike, I got something for you, man. He said, for real? And he said, yo, where you gonna be tonight? And I told him what show I had. He said, this boy to come really get the script. And that right there, I saw how serious he was when he really did that. It was easy for him to say that, then move on. And then his boy got the script Friday, called me Sunday. He was like, yo, this shit is crazy. Yo, we want to walk this to Paramount, blah, blah, blah. Right. Long story short, Mike didn't do the movie, but Next Day Air came out. You know what I mean? Oh, wow. And Next Day Air has a lot of elements of my motherfucking film. You know what I'm saying? Just to let you know how long my film was out. Shit sits on the shelf before the shit gets done. You know what I mean? While if you're not a strong soul, this shit could drive you crazy along that route. You know
I know what you're trying to say.
So,
absolutely.
So Next Day Air had a lot of shit with my film, with the shit getting in this hands, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. But I feel with the budget and what they had, my movie is still better than Next Day Air. Is what I feel.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
For what it is. And I'm not trying to and Benny Boom is a dope director. Most Def, I love those dudes. Right. But my shit is just more. It's just better. Next thing, it was supposed to, after him, I had a thing with Tracy, and then that didn't happen. You know what I mean? That didn't happen, and that hurt my heart at there because he called me for it, and it didn't work. I don't want to go all into the whole joint. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, Tracy got bigger fish to fry right now. You know what I'm saying? True. And that's something that it just. The average dude would just take the script and just throw it in the garbage or just shred it at that point. At that point, my light came on and said, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to do this shit myself, man. I'm going to do this shit myself. I'm going to grab my man Al Thompson. And then before Al Thompson, Tony Rock's supposed to have been my partner in the film. Wow. So Tony Rock was my co-star. And then he picked up a show on CBS called Living Biblically. I couldn't compete with that. I mean, we do comedy, so we get movies and TVs. I couldn't tell him, fuck CBS, come do this film. He had to do what he had to do.
But that dude was good with you.
And it's like God put that in my hand for me to fuck with Al Thompson. And Al is a personal friend. So sometimes you looking all around here and your answer is right next to
you. Right for me. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I like about this movie that me personally wouldn't have did? You wrote it, directed it, filmed it, the whole 9 yards.
I didn't direct it. Joe Grant directed it. He did a good job. Right.
Well, you wrote it, did the whole 9 yards. But in the movie, you didn't try to overshine the boy.
Yeah.
And this is your movie. And you literally let him shine just as much as you. And I found that.
You know what you're saying, Malcolm, is right. Sometimes, you know that phrase.
Because I would have been stopped.
Why
I'm
they
saying
say
that
he
right
has
now.
his cake and he wants to eat it too? I always thought that was a dumb phrase, right? So nigga got his cake and he want to eat it too. Yeah, nigga, like I bought a chocolate cake. Yeah, I want to share it, but I'm going to eat some too, nigga. Yeah.
Right.
I say that to say, when most of us do a movie, we wait so long to that part to shine that we want to overshine everybody else.
That's what I would have did.
Everybody else that you put in are the funny people that you know, and then you let them do what they do, and it fucks up. That's what happened when I did the Damon Dash film. Me, Kevin Hart, Capone, Smokey, Charlie Murphy,
Paper Soldiers,
Nori, when we did Death of a Dynasty.
Oh, okay,
that was the fucked up part about it. Dame Dash had good intentions, but he didn't know how to make movies. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to do the business of marketing movies and financially getting the money. Is different when it's time to actually, it's the creative part that you have to do.
Right.
And you see these movies and you go, damn, this shit could have been so much better. You know what I'm saying? Like Death of a Dynasty. Me and Capone are playing Jay-Z, Damon Dash.
Yeah.
That shit could have been iconic film that's on MTV VH1 every weekend.
Yeah.
Like Love Don't Cost a Dang, Next Friday, every fucking week. All About the Benjamins, all of them shits is on cable every weekend. Death of a Dynasty should be there.
Should have been in that rotation.
They didn't want to listen to these niggas that were trying to tell him how to do the movie, and he wanted. So you can't have a movie where Kevin Hart is playing 4 different characters. Right. You either doing a sketch or you making a fucking movie. You know what I'm saying? You can't have me playing Jay-Z and then behind it I'm selling incense oils at a table, and the next thing, niggas ain't gonna take that character serious. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
But the only person he let play one character was Capone, because Capone was playing him. If you notice that, he didn't want that image to be shook, so he let Capone just play one character in the fucking movie.
Speaking of that,
but big shout out to Dane for giving me the chance. I'm gonna say that though. For giving me he didn't even have to fucking fuck with me. Capone,
what made you come up with
doing that movie?
What made you come up with the snitch character on the Instagram?
The snitch?
Yes.
I just always thought, man, I just think it's funny, man. You know, it ain't nothing funny about niggas who really snitch.
That is hilarious.
It's funny about a nigga who's just horrible at snitching. That's the funny part.
Yo.
It's no funny about a nigga who snitching. People get snitching wrong first. If you on the block and you just live on the block and you're not a criminal, and you do something to somebody in your family and you saw the person and you call the cops, you got the cops involved, that's not snitching. That's due diligent community work. You know?
Absolutely.
But if you selling cocaine in your building and a nigga get killed during an exchange, and it's your boy that did it, that's snitching if you say blah blah because you living that life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So niggas get it confused between what a snitch really is. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But Steve the Snitch is so fucking horrible at doing it that I just thought it was funny. You know,
that's hilarious. I love watching them joints, man. Oh yeah. Look, I ain't gonna hold you up, man. Listen, man. It was an honor to have you on here, and everybody. It was an honor to have you on here, man. Because people don't realize you're not just one of the best comedians in New York. You're one of the best comedians in the world. And I tell people that, you know, just like I said about talent and Capone, I said these are the best comedians in the world, not in New York. And it just so happened that you're on the Kings of Comedy of New York.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And that, and that's what started that, but all of us getting together, you know what I'm saying, and doing and making money together, you know what I'm saying?
New York Kings of Comedy, crazy. Look,
it's crazy when it did. Let me just let the people know, people that will be checking this out. Anybody interested in seeing the movie, thank y'all for putting the flyer up and stuff. But anybody wants to see the movie, go into thestuffmovie.com. The Stuff Movie, one word, thestuffmovie.com. If you're a real internet, www.thestuffmovie.com.
Right.
All the information come. You can stream the movie and everything right there. Even dummies can do it. You know what I'm saying? Follow it.
And we're gonna make sure that we put it in a link for when we actually do the video. We try to figure out how to put it in a link, so when people see that,
Appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for having me up, man. I'm sorry that I had a little audio problems, and video, and all of that.
Nah, you good. You came in clear now.
You good. You good.
Yo, Rob.
Shout out to Philly, man. I always have fun in Philly at the Laugh House. What was that shit around the corner that before I get out of here? Around the corner, Lynn used to do that little shit over near the used to be Applebee's or Fridays over there.
The real
Warm Daddies.
Nah, there was some other shit there. You probably wasn't even in the game then, Mark. There was some other shit around the corner. Will Smith ended up buying that shit and turned it into something else. But yeah, man, just being in fucking Philly, man, was always real because you're always made a motherfucker bring that energy and be funny.
Yeah.
Real.
Yo, thank you,
man.
Gentlemen.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, man. Good,
hey,
Rob.
Man. Right.
Good with you.
Hey, Rob. Hey, Rob. Oh,
what up?
Well, you know, Laughter for the Soul Philly Comedy Club coming. Dang.
He hit the lead joint. Yo, listen, man. That was a great show, man. Yo,
yeah.
On Real Rap, y'all need to definitely check out that movie before it, because it's gonna be on cable. It's gonna be in a movie theater, but you can see it right now. You know, it's on the Hill-arious Show on my it's on the link on the Hill-arious Show bio. So if you wanna log on to the Hill-arious Show,
$6.99 is worth it.
On Instagram. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, man. Listen, great job, NA. Great job, Street Poet, man. Great interview. That's what we always do, man. It's the Hill-arious Show. Make sure each and every Thursday, 7 o'clock. We out.
Peace.